Welcome to Annitude, a relationship podcast about love, friendships, and everything in between. Hello, and welcome to Annitude with Anna. I'm here with Liz. Say hello to listeners, Liz.
Hi, guys.
It's been a while. I think the last episode we did was Hamilton. and
ham heads.
Ham heads, all the ham heads out there. I saw a shirt on OfferUp. I was going to get Jordan, but it was a size extra small. It said, all the thoughts in my brain have been replaced with Hamilton lyrics. And it's like, who made that? And why would you wear that? Unless you like, nobody's going to be like, oh man, you like Hamilton? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the opening act.
You would wear it to
the Hamilton show.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's right.
Like-minded people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I still haven't watched nor seen nor want to. It's probably because it's so popular. You know how I am. Like, I don't like to watch things or listen to music that everybody else is into. And I wait like 10 years.
That's true. And I hate that about you because I'm that person that does watch it when it's popular and I want to talk about it.
No, I refuse. I don't know what that is. It's like a psychological thing. Somebody tells me to watch something, I'm like, I'm going to make a point to not watch it. So, listeners, if you can't hear that my voice sounds horrible and I might be coughing throughout, I am recovering from COVID. I thought it was from hold on, we got to hold for applause. I thought it was some man that I took home from the club that gave it to me. I mean, it still could be. I don't know. I haven't heard from him since. He could be also dead from COVID. So, but I thought it was from him, but then it was from a friend that I went to brunch with. And I truly do not wish COVID on anyone except for my worst enemies. It's except for the people who are anti-vax. Actually, I hope you get it. But I'm vaccinated, so it wasn't as bad. I didn't end up in the hospital or anything. It was just very hard to lay in bed for 10 days. And there's only so much TV you can watch. But I did watch Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, which is phenomenal. Did you watch the latest episode?
If there's one as of like 2 days ago, then no.
The one where they're doing the girls' night in the pajamas, matching pajamas. Oh, you gotta watch.
Don't tell me about it. We can't discuss it.
I won't.
We have to move on.
Move on. It's so good though. I just like watching women party and have. I don't know why I love watching people party and have fun more so than people arguing, because arguing or fighting makes me feel like uncomfortable watching people like be mad at each other. Because I don't like that in my real life. I don't like anybody to be mad at me. And I don't want to watch any other people be mad at each other. I like drama, but like light drama, not serious. Like, I slept with your man and I'm going to beat your ass. I don't like that kind. But I'll watch
like the kind where someone didn't come to a party and now they're mad. Now everyone's talking about
it. That's my exact type of drama. Like when Cynthia was mad at Kenya for not wanting to play the game, because it's something that I feel Liz would get mad at. So that's what I kept thinking of. And absolutely. It would be me. And I would be Kenya being like fake kikiing and like laughing with people that I usually don't laugh with. And Liz would be like, God damn it. So yeah,
that's exactly.
I identified with that. So anyway, let's move on to, I forgot to talk about, so yeah, I got COVID. And it was the night before. I found out the night before I had my first paying DJ gig at this brunch place, which was very upsetting because it's like, I've been waiting for somebody to let me DJ, because it's very difficult, because a lot of places, like, unless you have a following or unless like, you know somebody who knows somebody, it's hard to get into the DJ scene, because no club wants a shitty DJ, because then nobody will come back. So I met the owner of this club, and he was like, yeah, I'll be in touch. And I didn't think anything of it. And then he asked me, like, can you DJ this weekend? This was on Wednesday. This is when I started feeling sick at work. So I said yes, not knowing I had COVID, thinking it was just like a sore throat. And then I found out my results the night before I was supposed to do the gig. And so I texted this man who's the owner of this place, and I was like, hey, I have COVID. I won't be able to DJ tomorrow. He gets mad, like sends me all the face palm emojis. I send him the results, like, I'm not playing around. Here are my results. And then he's like, okay, get better soon. Bitch, like, you should be concerned. And you should also be like, thank you for telling me. And
you could have just not showed up.
Yeah, I could have just not showed up, or I could have showed up coughing and hacking on everybody and getting everybody in that whole place sick, possibly killing someone, because there are some old aunties that do go to this establishment. So, yeah, I was like mad that he was mad, but I let it go. And then I texted him to let him know that I was no longer contagious and that whenever he needed me, I could DJ again. Well, then he asks, first he says December 27th, which is 2 months away. I'm like, cool, whatever. No, this man wanted me to DJ the weekend of this Thanksgiving weekend, next weekend. And I'm going to Portland. And I was like, I'm going to be traveling. It's Thanksgiving, duh. So he gets mad again and is like,
well, you didn't say it like that.
Oh, I said, I'm going to Portland. I don't know if I can make it. I could change my flight to get home earlier. Then while I'm like looking at my flight information, trying to see if like, oh, maybe I can, leave that morning and get there by the time the gig's supposed to start. He texts me and says, if you can't do it, just let me know. I work with dozens of DJs. I was trying to help you out. So Liz, tell them what you said the day after, because I'm so mad I didn't say this.
Well, I was the night you sent that to me, I was out with my friend drinking, so I looked at it but didn't have like the real
capacity to give me a good comeback, a zinger.
Yeah. And so, girl, I forgot what I said already. Don't make me pull these texts up.
No. She said, if he works with dozens of DJs, why doesn't he have somebody booked for next weekend?
Oh, that was a good point.
I think if I didn't have COVID brain, I would have been more quick with it, but I'm like literally coming off of my deathbed. And I should have said that, because it's like, if you work with so many DJs, one, why are you willing to hire somebody who is inexperienced as like a performer? Two, why don't you have your DJs booked out for months? That's usually what clubs do. They have like DJs do specific days, and they do them every weekend or every Tuesday or whatever. Like, why don't you have that booked out if you work with so many DJs? And why are you being fucking rude? It's Thanksgiving. It's not like like you wouldn't have plans. Yeah, like I wouldn't be going out of town. So this man is like so rude. And if this is what it's like to be like a DJ, I don't want any part of it, because like I'm doing this for fun. I'm not doing this for my career. Like I already have a career. So it's like, if people are going to talk to me like this, and every time I try to ask to, DJ somewhere, I don't want any part of it. I'll just DJ in my room and DJ at people's birthday parties, because this is too much. Like, people being disrespectful for no reason. And I was doing it for free. Like, I'm doing it for like my free time, because we didn't even talk about pay for that, like anytime after I did that day. So like, I'm doing you a favor. So disrespectful. That man's rude. And Liz also said I should have said your mama's low budget, which is a Potomac reference that I love.
Yeah, so I forgot I said that. Dang.
Yeah, you had stuff. This is why I need, if I ever do take off as a DJ, Liz is gonna be the one handling the bookings, because like she is so like, she puts up with zero like shit from strangers, because I find it hard to like be rude to people I don't know. Like that sounds messed up. I'm not rude to anybody. I'm like, I'm only rude to my friends.
You're rudest to the people closest to you.
Yeah. Well, because I know, like, they know. Oh my God. I hate my dog, because she barks at everything but people that need to be barked at. Like the homeless man that was sleeping outside of my window doing heroin the other night. Not a peep. But the neighbors, they're going to hear it. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Jolene, I'll cut that out. But anyway, back to the me. Yeah, I'm rude to people that I like. I'll tell somebody off, but I find it difficult to do it to strangers, for people I don't even know nor care about. I don't know why that is, but like if somebody's disrespectful to me, like at a restaurant or at the bar, or I don't know how, like people that like, I don't know. I just don't, I'm like, oh, I don't want to burn any bridges, but it's like, why do I give a fuck? Like that place is, the food is nasty. I'm not going to say the place, but the food is disgusting. My friend literally got ordered fried chicken and waffle. Oh, well, it was fried chicken and pancakes. And she got it. And it was we thought it was hair baked into the chicken or fried into the chicken. So we showed them. The server came back, got it, and was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna take this back. I'll get you a new one." She comes back. She's like, "The cooks said they clean the chicken in-house, and those are feathers," which also is disgusting. Who the fuck wants to eat fried chicken with feathers on it?
I'm going to be honest with you. That's actually first what went to my mind, because I do know sometimes chicken, even at B-dubs, it would have you not like a full-on like feather, but the little like
hairs, like the pieces,
the little follicle things. Yeah.
Yes.
If it's real fresh chicken, like.
Yeah, and it was real and fresh, but it was also
it was real fresh and feathers.
And not cleaned correctly, because it was like not just one, it was throughout the whole chicken. So that's what my friend ordered, and I was like, "Girl, I'm sorry for you. That's making me sick looking at you eat it." But and also like the service is horrible. Like we waited it. The reason why my friend ate it still is because we were waiting for 2 hours to get our food.
No, how busy was it?
I mean, it gets pretty busy, but it's like, okay, like, and they told us before, like the kitchen's backed up. If you can't handle like a rush during a brunch, and this place is dedicated to brunch, like you need to figure a better system, or like food that isn't so difficult to curate, because like that's I mean, it's kind of like a liability too, because all we were doing was drinking. So we're like drunk by 1 p.m. and hungry. So
that's true. The staffing, a lot of places are understaffed. Did it seem like she was like disheveled, your waitress?
We barely saw her. Yeah. Like it was other people serving us. Like some man got me a whole bottle of champagne for free because I was like just sitting there collecting dust. So but yeah, so anyway, that man's a meanie, and he better apologize, and he probably never will. I guarantee, watch this, by next week he'll be like, "Hey, you still want a DJ?"
Oh, I bet he's gonna need you again at some point.
Yeah, well, I bet next week, and he has nobody, so he's gonna be like, "Hey, I know you're coming back from Portland, but can you come in still?" So rude. Anyway, so what we really want to discuss, speaking of being rude to people we know and love, we're going to talk about liars and this funny story. My favorite time of my life. Before I moved to Arizona, I was looking for apartments, and my parents like, "You need to take somebody. How about Liz? We'll pay for it." And I was like, "Hell yeah." Free vacation with my best friend and possibly looking for an apartment. Let's do it. Yeah. So, this trip also included meeting up with one of my old college friends that I hadn't seen in years. And he had moved to Arizona. And we're going to refer to this person as Bruce, because I don't want anybody to know. I don't want him to think that I don't want him to know that I'm talking about him. And if he's still listening to this, fuck you for voting for Trump. So anyway, back to us. So me and this man are no longer friends. So Liz flies in from Iowa. I fly in from Wyoming. We meet up at the airport. The first, and then this includes another liar in the story. Her name is Christina. I'm only saying her name because she probably doesn't know how to work a podcast because like she's not very technology savvy. So this girl, so I also reserved a rental car, and we go to Hertz rental car place, and they're like, we have your reservation, but we need the deposit or whatever, or like the security deposit for cars. And so I run my card and it gets flagged as like somebody stole my card because obviously I'm from Wyoming. They're like, bitch, why the fuck you renting a car in Arizona? So
yes.
yeah, which is good. I'm thankful my bank was always on top of it because I wasn't. Did I ever tell you the time I got like a call from my bank and they're like, somebody purchased $200 in at Home Depot, and we only see you using it for food, gas, and clothing. I was like, bitch, you don't think I'm buying furniture? That's rude. That's rude. So they used to always flag my card, and I wouldn't even notice that there would be like $5 million missing out of my bank account. I'm like, I probably spent it being drunk. So anyway, so we run my card, it gets declined. I call my bank. They're like, yeah, it's flagged for or like whatever. I couldn't even get a hold of the bank, I don't think, until later. So I call my dad, and while we're waiting, Liz puts her boobs on the counter, and this is what Liz does. This is what Liz does. She doesn't give no fucks. So she puts her boobs on the counter. I don't know why you did that either. What was it?
I think I was doing an impression, or I had said something, and it was something Christina kept repeating. Remember, she was like telling it at all the occasions. I can't remember what I said, but I like slapped my breast on the table.
Yeah, she slapped her breast on the table. Please picture this, folks.
Please don't. Oh
and then she kept trying to like upgrade us, like in the process. She's like, I can get you a Mustang convertible. I'm like, we're in Arizona, we can't even like enjoy that. We'd be burning alive. Now that I think that's rude. And she was like, or I can get you like a Mercedes. Like, we're like, no, we just want just a regular car. Can we just have a regular vehicle? So this girl, she's like, where are you guys from? You're so funny. And this is how this girl talked, like true Valley girl that has never been to the Valley. She's like, oh my God, you guys are so funny. I love you. I love you girls. I love you girls. Give me your number and I'll take you out. So I give her my number.
Because you told her the story of like why we were here, because we were chatting with her for far too long.
Oh yeah, because we were waiting for all this, card nonsense and my dad to pay for the rental car. So she is, I tell her like, hey, I'm moving here. I'm looking for an apartment. I'm going to be a teacher. And we're just here to, hang out and look for places. And she's like, oh my God, I'll take you out. Oh my God. I love you girls. You're so funny. So she gives me her number, and then we get the rental car and we go to the hotel. We're having the time of our lives, swimming, playing games in the pool like 5-year-olds. People are trying to enjoy their time, and we're like playing Marco Polo and running into them. Like, so the next day, this is when I'm supposed to meet up with Bruce. So we get a hold of Bruce. Bruce is like, hey, meet me at my house. So we go meet him at his house, which is in Scottsdale, and he lives with his cousin. And Liz was pretending, because she was Jordan at the time, that she had a crush on him. She's like, hey Spencer. Hey Spencer. And it was just hilarious. It was just so funny. And we went to this place downtown called Hanny's, which, okay, if you're from Arizona, like Hanny's is like whatever. I love it. It's very good pizza. But we are coming from 2 towns that have like Applebee's and Outback Steakhouse. So like there's not much you need to do to impress us at this point. So, but Garrett, sorry, I said his name. I'll bleep it out. Bruce, damn it. Bruce decides to take us to this expensive place, like expensive to me because I'm haven't started my job yet as a teacher, and like my parents are like financing this trip or whatever. So it's like, why are you taking us to this place like that you would go to if you were a divorcee or like a rich wealthy person? And to do what? And he's like, come, the basement is so scary, like you guys are gonna be freaked out. So I'm thinking like there's a dead body down there, something. We go down there. What's down there, Liz?
Dolls
In a
jail.
cage.
In jail.
So this place is just like, I don't know what it used to be, an old suit, like a men's warehouse, if you will. It used to be a department store. So I don't understand, like they try to like scare you, like there's different random things in there. The bathrooms are like, they're unisex, but it's also like red light, like you can't really see in there. I don't know. It's just whatever. It's just a place, like I guess you would take a tourist if you wanted to be like, oh, this place is cool, but fuck, I keep saying his name. Bruce.
Bleep it out. Just
I'm bleeping it out. Bruce, I'll just call him, bleep it out.
Yeah.
So decides to like order all of these drinks, martinis and Cosmos, like all this stuff, and like for what? Like I'm just like, I want a beer. Like at the time I think I was drinking Sex on the Beaches. That's how inexperienced of a drinker I was. Mm-hmm. So like stuff like that, but he's like trying to show off, which becomes important in a moment. So we go home. The next day we find my apartment, so we're like, let's party. And we go to the gay club here. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. And we went downtown, like to the gay. We went to Charlie's. I didn't know it at the time, but it was Charlie's, and like, I don't know, it was just like a whatever night. And we're like, we still want to party. So then Christina calls, and we're in shorts and Liz is in a sundress. And Christina's like, hey girls, come over to my house. And mind you, we're in the rental car, which Liz would not let me drive because why, Liz?
You're a scary driver. I felt like I was in better hands to drive your rental car.
Yeah, which I was like, Liz, drive the car, even though neither one of us knew the roads or the highways. Mm-hmm. And this is like the 5th largest city in America. And that's how nobody ever wants me to drive.
We did go around a few blocks a few times.
yes, and missed exits.
Repeating ourselves. Yes,
yeah, missing exits. So we find the apartment, which was in Chandler, which was truly the disrespect of the century because I had to commute an hour to work, and I'm still mad at the HR person who was like, "Don't live around here," and didn't give us any alternatives of where to go. Like, it was just like, don't live around this area. It's bad. And so I went an hour out of my way to find somewhere to live. So we go back to the hotel. Christina calls and she is like, come over to my house, girls. Like, we're getting ready. We're going to go out to Scottsdale. Mind you, I don't know what Scottsdale is. I have never even heard of it at this point. So I think it's fine to just go in our outfits that we're already in. And then we show up to Christina's house and what would you describe their outfits as? It was 2 girls. It was her and her friend from Hertz rental car.
If I remember it correctly, it was just like a short, form-fitting, like bodycon black dress, but like in a classy way, not like in a slutty way. I felt.
Yeah, no, it was like, and heels and everything, and me and Liz were like,
cricket.
Yeah, mad that they didn't tell us like what the fare was. Not like I packed any bodycon dresses anyway.
Like she should have adjusted to like. No, because we wouldn't have went out and bought anything for that occasion. Honestly.
No, I wouldn't have. No. And then we brought over, what did we bring over? Like mudslides and Kahlua. Why did we have that? Do you remember
Why
those?
did we bring that?
I
Maybe
don't.
she told us to.
Yeah, maybe she was like, bring something to drink, and I was like, mudslide, Kahlua, like truly
You know what? Why?
the
We're like,
not
hey, do you have a
non-alcohol.
blender?
Hey, do you have things to make white Russians by chance? Heavy cream?
I'm gonna be so honest. If someone came over and needed my appliances, I'd be mad. I'd be like, get out of here. Like, bye.
The fuck out of here.
I need my appliances.
Well, I mean, yes, I would be mad, but they were pre-made. They were the ones in the little glass bottles.
Oh, I thought we were sitting there trying to like make
hell no.
them.
I would not be in any. I would be embarrassed to ask somebody
like bring over the tub of ice cream.
So we didn't even drink them because we left them there, because I remember the next time I came over, she's like, oh my God, I still have your Kahlua. Those are so crazy. And I drank it a month later. I don't even think it was refrigerated. I think it was like in her room still. And I was just like, yeah. So that's the kind of person I was, truly an animal back in the day. So we go out to Scottsdale severely underdressed, because in Scottsdale, now that I know, I would not give a fuck, because fuck Scottsdale. It's truly like so played out, and the clubs are pretentious and annoying. So we go out to Scottsdale in our shorts, Liz in her sundress, and we are just not the belles of the ball. So which made me mad, because we were mad that we're on the way there seeing their outfits. We're like, we look busted.
It makes you like have no self-confidence. And so in my opinion, so it's like, I feel uncomfortable to be here with these girls next to
looking like, beautiful. We look like trolls.
And we made them look more attractive because we were so disgusting hanging around them.
Exactly. Yes. And that's probably why they brought us out still. They're like, well, at least we'll look good next to these trolls. So, but best believe when I moved here and we went out to Scottsdale again, I dressed to the 9s and 10s, honey, because I wasn't going to be caught out here looking stupid again. So anyway, we, she takes us to Filiberto's drive-thru, which truly is a TBD, like Mexican food place. And I use the term Mexican food very loosely because it's very undercooked. My sister said the meat tastes like tire fire. Like it's just not. I mean, I guess it's good when you're drunk. It's like whatever. But the next morning, it's the day before we're supposed to leave, and calls us and is like, "Hey, do you girls want to do Sunday fun day?" Another thing I didn't know, that people partied on Sundays. I had no idea.
That was first experience as well.
Yeah. Like I said, I came from a small town. I came from a small college town that didn't have brunch places. Like, I'm sure they have them now. But I was not aware of the craziness that Sunday Fun Day was. So we wear dresses. I'm wearing like a skater dress with boats on it. Liz is wearing a dress with anchors on it. And this comes important later. So we go out to Scottsdale and tells us he has a table for us. And we're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, you're so rich. Because I'm thinking he's rich because he took us to Hanny's, which was out of my price range then. And he was buying all them drinks. And I think his bill was like
not for us. He was buying
he would never.
And he wasn't buying
never buy anything for anybody, just himself. So we are out and about, and he's like, yeah, we have a table at El Jefe, girls. Like, oh my God, it's not ready yet though. And I didn't know what table service meant. Once again, small town girls. And we go into the club and we're standing next to a table. And he's like, that's our table right there. It's not ready yet though. So we're like dancing by the table. And then we noticed him like taking stuff off the table because there was like tanning lotion and sunglasses.
It was like samples of stuff.
Yeah. So he's like, it's okay. It's our table. So we're still dancing. And then like an hour goes by, and I think Liz is like, when's the table going to be ready? He's like, oh, like we actually, they sold it to somebody else. Once again, we didn't know what table service meant. So we leave, go get some food. me and Liz still postcards. And then yeah. We were so bad. Like they're 25 cents. Why the fuck didn't we just buy them?
That's true. Why didn't we?
Why are we such hulu? And then we put them in the mail with no stamp.
No, I did. I sent mine.
Did I send mine? I think I put mine in the mailbox with no stamp.
Okay.
Like I found a mailbox on the way and like put it in there. Did you keep yours the whole night?
I sent it as like a real letter to somebody.
That's nice of you. I did. I sent it to no one.
You wasted it.
I wasted the thing I stole. So then we get some. I'll bleep this out too. We get some, and Garrett buys it for us, gives it to us. Wait, what? Didn't he try to get money from us? That's not what I remember. Okay, go.
That's not what I remember.
You remember.
Ugh, nothing bad. He asked for like X amount of money. And then because I think we got like we got one for each of us. And then when he came around again, he asked me for X amount of money, but like it was a different amount more. And I don't even think it was for us.
No.
Does that make any sense?
I think he bought it for himself and had us pay for it.
Yeah. So I think he might have bought like, I can't remember, but I remember there being like two different amounts and it didn't make sense.
No, it didn't make sense. And so me and Liz are rolling and we decide to go in the bathroom. We're like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, girl. You know how you are when you're on. And then we're like, let's trade dresses.
Yeah.
Why in God's name we decided to trade dresses at the club? I don't know. Like we wanted an outfit change. So we switched dresses and we like go back out and we think we're so cool because we like did an outfit change.
We think we're hilarious.
We think we're fucking hilarious. We traded dresses. So we party all night. And before that, do you remember when like that guy is talking shit, Anna, and then I go up to the guy, I'm like, what's the problem? Like thinking he's like saying homophobic. Oh, he's like, he's homophobic. I go up to the guy.
That was at the end of the night.
Yeah.
That was on the way out.
Yeah. He's like, he's homophobic. This was Garrett saying about this man. And the man's like looking confused. And I go up to him ready to fight because I will fight for racism and homophobia. So I'm like ready to fight this man. And the man's like, I just don't want to suck his dick, okay? Bitch, you're sexually harassing this man and then mad he doesn't want to suck your dick in the middle of the day in front of God and everyone? Are you kidding me? So I'm like mad and the night's like over, out of his mind. So I told him, I was like, we'll take you home. Yes.
I remembered what happened. So I think we ended and then he ended up getting more pills that I don't know why we ended up paying for. I remember I took money out of my wallet to give him, but I remember I saw him selling those pills then.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that, but I believe it because like that's some shiesty shit he would do. Shiesty. So
I feel like then I paid him for drugs that he was selling to somebody else to make a profit, I think.
Disrespectful. Like, how are you gonna sell drugs with my money? Like, how are you? That's so rude. I've never even heard of such a thing. That is disrespectful. Like, let me mark these drugs up with your money and not share the profit.
I didn't. We were just high and drunk. Honestly, I think we were also drinking.
Yeah, we were because we had mimosas and we were, living our best lives.
Yeah. I was just complacent, honestly. I was like, following the rules.
Yeah, I guess we got to pay for his drugs and help him sell. Like,
I wasn't really thinking about it.
Yeah. So then we are leaving the club and we're like, you can't drive. So Liz drives.
No.
We Ubered?
We Ubered.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
On his dime.
On his that maybe made up for the pills that he sold on your behalf.
That's true. That is true.
So we Ubered back to and we realized our phones are dead.
No.
Yeah, our phones.
No, we didn't know how to get back.
Oh, and this is pre Google Maps.
I think so, yeah.
So, or something happened. So I think our phones died because we were out for like 12 hours. I feel like our phones were dead because I feel like we would have been able to find our way around.
I don't know.
I don't remember what happened. Anyway, so Spence comes out, Liz's love of her life. And she, once again, he's out of his complete mind. Like, I don't know what pills he had, but he was acting crazy, crazier than us. And so Spence, Liz.
Wait, you forgot he took his pants off in the front yard and was laying.
Oh, I was going to get to that, but yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So Spencer is nice enough to fire up the desktop computer, and Liz has him draw the directions.
I think the printer wasn't working.
Yeah, the printer wasn't working. So Spency had to draw the directions back to the hotel.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you were able to follow those directions. Like, honestly, have you ever read a map before in your life?
No.
And I'm sure that map wasn't good. So we were walking out pantsless, laying on the front lawn. Like, what did he have that we didn't? Because like by then we were like fine. We're like, okay.
Yeah, we were ready. Like, I felt comfortable to drive home. Yeah. Hope that doesn't sound bad.
No, I feel like we stopped drinking early enough, and obviously the lasted for a few hours. Like, we were fine.
I will say you were truly educating on me because you were like, you have to keep hydrated. And one of your things were you kept reminding me like I needed to drink all the time.
Oh yeah.
Water.
I'm a rave mom. What can I say? So yeah, we end up driving back to the hotel, like blowing us up. Where's my car? And I'm like, bitch, I can't even deal with you right now. We have to leave in like 6 hours. Like he was like after he came out, Carlos laying out naked in his front lawn in this well-to-do neighborhood. Like, truly, what in the world? Hilarious. So I'm getting calls my car. I'm like, you left it in Scottsdale. I don't know what to tell you.
You left it in Scottsdale.
You were not able to drive, and he had work that next morning. He had to call out because he was still sleeping on the lawn when he woke up.
No, we put him in his bed.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he went back out there because he says as
he said he left his nice bed and went out back.
Yeah. So what we learned from that trip was that everybody's a liar in Arizona. Everybody's lying and on drugs and drinking. But it was truly the time of my life. All I think about is Calvin Harris, When I Met You in the Summer. I cannot hear that song without thinking of When We're Young, Wild, and Free.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll connect those now too. I didn't, but now I will.
Yeah. It was because it played. It was like had just come out, so everybody was listening to it. Yeah. Then that's when I found out was the ultimate liar. So when I moved here, I didn't have any friends, obviously. So I would hang out with him and his group of friends. So one Sunday fun day, I was obsessed with Sunday fun day. I would go every Sunday. Truly, why and how is the question, because like I guess that's where all my money was going. So I would go out every Sunday. And one Sunday, we're out drinking with his friends, and then all of a sudden he was like, I used to work here, and this is like a very popular club. And I was like, oh, really? So he like goes up to the bartenders, like chopping it up with them. And so I was like, oh, maybe he did used to work here. He knows these people. So the server comes back with a tray of shots for everybody. There was like 10 people in this group. We take the shots and we're like, woo. And was like, yeah, these are on the house because I used to work here. We continued drinking for a little bit, and then weird. He used to get very molesty. It was the worst. And he was a gay man. So I don't know if he thought just because he was gay, like you can touch my boobs, and like he was very rapey. Like it was gross. So he was getting very touchy feely, and I was like, you're drunk, you need to go home. So he gets an Uber, he goes home, and me and the girls were like, let's stay out and party. And the server comes over and she's like, okay, here's your bill, but who's taking care of the shots, or should I split those all up? And I was like, that son of a bitch. And they were like top shelf shots, they weren't just like tequila. So I sent is my friend, and I invited these people, or I think I was with people that I knew like loosely, but I was like, I'll pay for them because that's, and I will get with. So I pay for the shots. Then his mom is like texting me like, where I haven't heard from him in like 48 hours, and I'm like, I don't know, like all I know is he was really drunk because I was pissed. And then he texted me, he's like, I don't remember what happened. And by then I had enough of him lying, because he used to lie also about his job. He'd tell people he was a lawyer. He would tell people he was like going to medical school. Like he worked for a prescription delivery service. Like, why are you just tell people that, nobody cares. But he'd be like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. And I would overhear him telling people this, and I'd be like, why did you tell that person you're a lawyer? He'd be like, oh, just because like And then he would also tell my business to people, like my personal business, like, and I'd be like, I told you that in confidence, like why are you telling my life story to strangers? So he would do shit like that. He would also be like, yeah, I'm gonna let's buy a table like on me. And I'm like, you don't have the money. Like I know you now. You don't have the money to do that. So stop. He gets a hold of me. He's like, I don't remember what happened. I was like, I remember paying $80 for the shots you said were on the house. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to send you money? And I was like, nope. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of your lying, tired of your deceit, and being like just not a good person. And so we didn't talk for like months. Like that was like in February. We didn't talk again until like the end of July at somebody's birthday party. So, and then we kind of had tried to rebuild the relationship, but it was never the same, because I was like, you're a fucking liar. So yeah. And then the Christina girl, who also was a big liar. I don't know what it is with people trying to impress other people, like with money that they don't have. So she would take me, like, she'd be like, let's go shopping. So I'm thinking we're just going to the mall, going to Forever 21, going to Rue 21, going wherever. And she's like going into fucking Louis Vuitton for hours, would be in there picking up purses, looking at them like, I already have this, but isn't this so cute? Like, why are we in here? I'm a teacher. I'm not buying shit in here. Because one, who needs a fucking Louis Vuitton purse as a second grade teacher? Like, what am I carrying the papers home in it? So anyway, so yeah. And she's like, would always be like, yeah, like I have like this amount of money in my bank account, and I made this in my bonus this week. Like would brag about like these supposed bonuses she would get from work. She's like, I got $25,000 extra because I made the most upgrades. Like it would be the most random stuff. And then she disclosed like, and I'm not saying like you can't talk about your salaries, but at least make it true. She's like, yeah, I make 6 figures at Hertz rental car, bitch. So then I contacted one of my friends that actually works at Hertz rental car in a different state. And I was like, how much do managers make? And she wasn't even a manager. I was like, how much do managers make? And she was like, they can make upwards of like $60,000 to $80,000. Why? And I was like, oh, my friend who's just a sales associate says she makes 6 figures. She's like, no way. Not even if you sold every day, like all the cars you had were upgraded, you wouldn't make that much. And I was like, that's what I thought. So, and then this girl and I went to Las Vegas for my birthday, and she said she would leave the room, or we would leave the room. She's like, oh my God, let's make sure it's locked because I have my jewels. Literally said her jewels. Why the fuck are you bringing jewels? Who are you, Queen Elizabeth II? Like, why are you bringing jewels that I never saw the whole weekend we were there? These supposed jewels. Like, are they like, I don't understand. Like, just in case you go to jail, you need me to pawn them or something? Like, why would you bring jewels that you're not wearing? And then yeah, she got really drunk and got lost, and some men found her, thankfully. I don't know if they sexually assaulted her or not, but yeah, she came back, and then I was like putting her in the shower, and because I was like, you like smell like she smelled gross because she was like out all day sweating and in her bathing suit. So she gets in the shower, and then she gets out, and she's like, pass me my Ralph Lauren pajama bottoms. And I was like, these? She's like, yeah, you don't even know because you don't even have those. I was like, you can get these at TJ Maxx. Like, cut the shit. She was like that kind of person, like always trying to like put me down for not having name brand or designer things, which truly I'm the last person that cares about that stuff. Me and her are no longer friends either, because she was a liar. She was always trying to stunt on somebody, but it's like, who are you stunting on? You're like, and she was like 5 years older than me. It's like, who are you stunting on? The 30-year-olds at Hertz rental car? Like, who are you trying to impress? So made no sense. So Arizona is full of a lot of those types of people. I don't know what it is about Arizona. It's like, you like the people who live here could not make it in LA or New York. So they try to act like they're like wealthy here, where it's not hard to be wealthy, quote unquote, here, because everything's cheaper than it is in LA and New York and other bigger cities. So yeah. How do you feel about, you came to visit a lot?
Yes.
Okay. Tell everybody about the friends that I have encountered that you met during your time here.
To be honest, I like the times that I did hang out with you and Christina, I thought were entertaining. So I was sad when you guys parted your ways.
Yeah, because it was always be some wild shit going down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like her being rude or inviting me over to eat. Remember the time she invited me over for like Super Bowl? So I go over there and it's like 2 p.m. and I'm thinking there's gonna be snacks or something, but like she had nothing out. I'm dying, literally dying of hunger, famished, and everybody's late. But I'm like, you could have still had the food prepared. She didn't start cooking the food until 7 p.m. So I had been there for like, I hadn't eaten before I came. Been waiting there by myself because nobody showed up until like 6:30, hungry and starving. And I'm like, do you have any like chips or anything? She's like, I'm not putting those out until people come. Bitch, I'm hungry. Like she would do shit like that, like start cooking at 9 p.m. and I'm like,
I remember you told me like the food didn't get done till 11 because didn't she have like steaks or ribs or something?
Yeah, she had like all this food that would take hours to make, and I didn't eat until like midnight. So that kind of stuff would happen. Let's think, what else did she do to me? I remember one time I went out with her and her then boyfriend, who was cheating on her the entirety of their relationship, which I could have told her that, because like it just, their relationship made no sense. Like they would never hang out, but he would come over sometimes. Like she would always be available any day, any night. And I'm like, where's your man? She's like, oh, he's working late. He worked for like ADT Security Services. What are you working late for? So, and then she found out that he went to a wedding with some other woman on Facebook. Like there's a whole album dedicated to their like relationship. And I was like, ooh, double homicide. So one night I went out with them and it was my birthday, and she purchased a table. Do you remember this? She bought a table at this club. It was like a Latin club. And I invited two of my friends from work. Well, she didn't show up until, I don't know. I got there at 11:30, and I think that was the time I was supposed to show up with these two girls for my job. And then she didn't come until like 1 a.m.
Wait, and then you have to wait for her to get there to use the table?
Yeah, they're like, everybody has to be here to utilize the table. And you have to like pay for like whatever bottle you're getting. Like you pay for the table and then you pay for the bottle or whatever. So my two friends like were like, girl, like we're gonna go. And I was like, I don't blame you. Like So they left right before she came. So we basically only had the table, which was, I'm not joking you, patio furniture on top of a stage. Like it wasn't a real like table like service. This club was very unprofessional. So yeah, I think I was sitting in like one of those like iron chairs like that you would sit outside in. Like I was like, this is awkward. So, and then I went home with them because I was supposed to spend the night at her house. And I remember her boyfriend was like, because I'm a teacher, and he's like, I would never want, because he had a kid, and he's like, I'd never want my daughter in your class. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, all you do is party and drink. And I was like looking at Christina, like, you gonna get your man or do I have to get him? And I was like, well, your daughter would be very lucky to have me. I'm a really good teacher. I'm not drunk at school. And then I went to bed, but it made me mad that she didn't like stick up for me and be like, don't talk to her like that. You were drinking too. I wouldn't want you setting up my security systems. Like, so
also, like, you're the parent and you're in that scenario, but you wouldn't want that person to be teaching, but you'd want that person to be the parent.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, neither here nor there. That was, people used to say that to me all the time. Like, I'm not going to work with a flask in my pocket, like fucking pounding shots in between recess. Like,
you're young and single and living life.
Yeah.
What do they want you to do?
Exactly. Like sit at home, because they have a picture of teachers like being nerdy, like awkward people that just grade papers. Like, no, I'm fucking gonna go out and I'm gonna live my life. So yeah. The friends in Arizona are something, let me tell you. I have zero. Now I have zero friends because in my older age, I don't have time for the nonsense. And like now I'm looking for like friendships where like we can hang out outside of the club. These people were like club friends. Like the music's on, we're not talking. We're drunk.
Drinking, yeah.
So but then as soon as the music was off and I'd had to listen to these people talk, like, I hate you. So yeah. Once again, useless guard dog. So yeah. Any other scenarios you remember from Arizona from your time visiting?
Not about Christina, but the one that dwells on my heart for eternity.
Kizzy. The girl.
No.
Oh, I thought you always say she dwells on your heart because I stopped talking to her.
No, I was talking about when Bruce in the shower is what I was gonna get back to.
Oh my God. So me and Bruce, like we repaired our relationship somewhat. But we didn't really hang out like often like we used to.
Well, wasn't he he was going to be something in your wedding? Like he had a title, like,
because he begged and begged every time I would see him. He'd be like, so I was looking at pictures of bridesmaids and like men bridesmaids and like, look at this. He'd like show me pictures that he had like favorited on Pinterest. So finally I was like, you can be an usher. Like, cause it was like, truly, there was no way I could tell him no, that he would understand. Cause I'd like, no, like, I don't want guys in my wedding party. Like it's just my sisters and my best friend and my, cousins. And he would be incessant. Like, I'm your best friend. Like he would tell everybody we're best friends. I'm like, I didn't call you that, but that's nice that you think I'm your best friend. So he was supposed to be the usher in my wedding. That never happened, thank God. Because now I'm not having anybody in my wedding. Me and my man are gonna go to the Taco Bell chapel,
Las Vegas,
and we're gonna drink, and it's a party. We're not doing all that. So, because I will never plan a wedding again. It's truly the most stressful, annoying, awful experience, especially if you don't have like help. Like it's like, what am I doing this for? Like constantly I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like, who is this for? It's not for me, it's for everybody else. So the shower, so Liz and him were planning my shower, and tell him what he did to you, as the liar he is.
Honestly, it was more so him. I think I came in as like someone to bounce ideas off of, so that he could later ask me to split the cost, because I think he volunteered to do your
Yes,
shower because he was in town.
What happened? I don't know how he got in charge of the shower. I truly don't remember. I think I said because I wasn't going to have one. And he was like, no, you have to have one. I was like, okay. So he planned it and then asked you.
So of course, like a shower in your backyard. Okay, let's set the scene. Shower, location, backyard, free. Okay. He said that he got some decorations, but then he also said that those decorations were going to be used for his cousin's business. So I felt like that doesn't necessarily need to be split, because those are something you're benefiting from.
You're keeping. So like
keeping and benefiting from.
Yeah.
And then so of course, like alcohol, and actually I think that was it, just alcohol and decorations, because
I had the place.
Food was provided.
Yep. Somebody else paid for the food.
And some of the decorations were also provided because you had a friend who had accessories for like setting plates and tables and things like that.
Yeah. So and how much did he ask you for?
And so I was like, yeah, I can like split that with you, like no problem. And he told me that it was going to be my portion $300.
Which makes
so I'm like,
no sense.
What is 600? If we're splitting this, then what was $600? And so I was like, what? I literally called. I said, do you have time to talk? Because I'm like, we're talking about this. We're not texting about this, honey. And I call him and I was like, hey, like, I feel like that's kind of like a lot for like a shower. Like, it's not, we're not even paying for like a venue or anything. Like, where does this go? And he's like, well, all the alcohol and this and that. And he was like, and he told me he was getting 18 bottles of champagne because you're doing like a mimosa theme. And I was like, I don't think we need all that. And he's like, you don't know our friend group. It's going to get crazy. That's what he had said. You don't know the friend group.
And which is crazy. Absolutely like true, but also it's a shower, not Las Vegas. Like,
yeah. And so he did get 18 bottles of champagne, and he did get like vodka and like mixers and things like that. I think we ended up using 4 bottles of champagne.
Yeah,
because there's also like Bloody Mary stuff and other things.
Yeah, and I think other people brought stuff too. Like they brought maybe
I don't think so.
But I remember your mom brought pastries from Sam's Club. Jean came through with the pastries.
But and then this was the kicker, though. This was the kicker. So, we had this conversation. He said, you don't know. And so and he's like, well, what do you think you could do? And I was like, I will definitely like give you $100 because I feel like a $200 backyard.
Because I'm trying to even think how much, like, because he's getting this champagne from Costco. The champagne can't be more than $10. Like, it can't be more than $10. And we only invited like 15 people. So even one bottle per person would be $150. So like, what are we paying for? Like,
okay, so but this was the kicker. Do you remember at the end of your shower, he collected all of the champagne bottles to take them back to get his money back?
Yes, he did. Which was like very strange because it's like,
yeah, he even went in your fridge and took those. Like, he couldn't leave. We had so many bottles, he couldn't leave the 2 that were in the fridge.
No, he refused.
He took the fridge ones.
Yep, he did, like the Grinch. He didn't even leave a crumb. So, and I think he returned the balloon like pump that, remember, and he had us tell me why this person had me and Liz making my own decorations, the balloon arch. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
We were pumping the balloons. Why am I, as the bride, decorating my own shower? Why? And I did that at the bachelorette party too, because he planned that also. And he literally was like, can you help me hang these up? And it was literally the Mrs. and Mr. sign. Like, why am I hanging this up? This should have been done before. So the worst usher ever in history. But it definitely, like, I'm glad I had all those experiences minus the wedding, because then it made me realize, like, I'm never doing this again. And I don't ever want to put pressure on anybody or myself to plan these events, because they're truly like, what for? Like, I get it. You want presents and gifts, but it's at what cost? It's at your sanity. That's pretty much what it costs, is your entire sanity. So next time around, it's going to be so low stakes. It's just a party. Like, we're just partying. Like, we're going to get married at the Taco Bell, all the food.
I love that idea. I love that idea.
And I'm going to do, if I do a bachelorette party, it's going to be in Vegas. Because that's what I initially wanted, was like, because I love Vegas. Kids are up.
Someone's upset.
This is mom life. So anyway, long story short, my friends are trash that I'm no longer friends with, and they were trash. So, and I remember one of my friends that I'm no longer friends with either. I'm not friends with anybody that was a part of the wedding. Like, none, just you. So one of the friends, she showed up to the bridal shower, and it literally said on the invitation, no children allowed, because my ex's mother wanted to bring like the grandchildren. No, I don't want kids running around while I'm drinking, trying to have fun. Mm-hmm. And I told her no, but this friend showed up 30 minutes before the party ended with her child, which was so rude to do. You just don't come. And she didn't bring a gift or anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but we're no longer friends. So that's okay. So yeah, that's those are my friends in a nutshell. They're great at the club. Great. Love them at the club. Love them when I'm drunk. Truly trash when I'm sober and it's the middle of the day with no music. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna let Liz get back to being a mother.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, we've been on the this podcast for over an hour. So okay. Anyway, Liz, any last thoughts or words or words of advice to people who have shitty friends?
Oof.
Or liars who have liars as friends? Should they call them out on their lies?
I don't know. I guess it depends. If it's a hurtful one or just something like just truly insignificant.
Yeah. If it's entertaining, like keep having them lie.
Yeah, just let it ride and talking about it.
Talk about it with your true friends. So yes. Liz, before I go, I have to ask you, what is your favorite song?
My NSYNC song?
Yeah, your favorite NSYNC song.
Actually, first that came into my head and Drive Myself Crazy, probably.
Oh, that's a good one. Drive myself, when they were in the insane asylum.
Yeah, and it was like sexy. You know? It was like sexy
with a straight jacket. Drive myself, them bouncing off the walls.
Thinking of you. Yes.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, Liz, I'm going to let you go so you can mom the children. If it's day night, wherever you are, love and light.